All right, y'all, what's up? What's going on? So to get this thing set up, here we go. So yeah, man, just wanted to jump on and talk about some WMMA action from last night. Whew, man. Hey, last night's fights paid off. Definitely had two big wins for WMMA last night. We've been we kind of, I won't say we really like fell off the streak of good fights we've been having in 2025, but we back on the finishing streak. What's up, Marcus Bill? We back on it, right? And I've been getting on my picks this past few months, I think. Let me check here. I'm just pulling some stuff up here. All right, let's see. Yeah. I've actually got most of my picks the past few cards. As far as how the fights would go, finish, decision, whatever. I've been on it this time. These last few fights, they have been like some action-packed fights. Some fighters coming in trying to make some big statements. So, all right, close that out. There we go. All right, sorry about that. I was a little distracted fixing something. Yeah, Marcus Bell said I expected that second round sub for Bia Mesquita. Yeah, I did too. Bia Mesquita made a big statement. Julia Polastri made a big statement. I like what I was seeing from both fighters as far as going for it. Because I think that in order to get on these bigger cards and to be seen as a threat, or to even be seen, as like a fighter that really goes to make a big statement, you got to fight like that. Marcus Bell said, but didn't expect Polastri to get a finish, but I did pick her to win. I kind of saw the finish in this one. Well, I've always said that in the past few Carolina fights. When it comes to Carolina, I'm always thinking that she's damaged goods. I mean, hey, no diss or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, I've been feeling like Carolina, one of these days, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen where she's going to crumble in there. And this was that fight. It was just a matter of time. You put her in there with the right puncher, and boom, that's what happens. I thought it was going to be Denise Gomes, honestly. That's why I called for Denise Gomes by KO that time, because I was thinking that Denise Gomes was going to land one of them big right hands and, put Carolina out, or either, crack that orbital bone again and get her out of there. But, like I said with Denise Gomes, sometimes like she has trouble like focusing and just setting up her power shots. But The thing about Polastri, man, she's like a little Tasmanian devil, right? No real straight mixed martial artist game plan. Is more of just like this striking game plan, this fighter game plan. Polastri just wants to come in there and attack. That's her main thing. I mean, you look at all the Polastri's fights, she's attack, attack, attack. That's her thing, right? So I was thinking maybe like late round finish, or yeah, probably like lopsided decision where Carolina was going to suffer a beating. And yeah, that's what it was. I mean, yeah, let's talk about this fight here real quick, man. Let's talk about this one first as far as just like performance. I mean, Julia Polastri's performance overall, like I enjoyed it, and that's what you want to see as far as just like entertainment when it comes to, WMMA fighters. I still think there's a lot of things that she needs to work on, before we call her like a contender. But as far as her like being one of the fighters that the UFC calls or the casual fans want to see, I think that's her. I think she's one of those fighters that, people are going to want to always tune into, kind of like Cachoeira. I mean, I don't want to see her go that route of being a Cachoeira or a zombie girl. There's a lot of ways she can still be entertaining, and still make it up the ranks, but I just don't want to see her get stuck in one gear. And that could be an issue, if, she's not, making the right improvements. I'm sure she is, though. This probably was just her game plan to say, you know what, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put a lot of pressure on her and try to get her out of there, which is what she did. I actually thought there was a number of times that she could have got Carolina out of there. I mean, what do y'all think? Like, I thought Carolina could have went down in the first round. She could have went down in the second round. She did finally go down in the third round, but I thought that everything that Polastri was throwing had bad intentions on it. That's the thing about Carolina. Like, Carolina still has that heart. It's a dangerous thing, but she still has that heart, and she's still somewhat durable. She's still somewhat durable in there. She can still like handle some big shots. She knows how to go on the back foot and recover. Had that been maybe somebody else that would have put together like maybe a little bit more of a dangerous offensive strategy as far as like getting her down to the ground and going for that finish, they probably would have got her out of there. But still, in there with a dangerous striker like this, Carolina was able to recover at times and, shield some of these big shots and then go back to, landing some of her own volume. I think Polastri, she was doing a good job of focusing on the body in this fight, really landing a lot of good body shots, a lot of good strikes, body kicks. That one right body kick, though, man, that put Carolina on the back foot. I thought that was going to be it, man. I was like, man, I don't think I've ever really seen Carolina hurt to the body like that, man. That's the crazy part. But that was a big shot to the ribs, man. And like Carolina was about done, but I got to give her credit, man. She survived it. Coolio, what's up? Coolio said Carolina needs to retire. Yeah, she definitely needs to retire now. I mean, she's 12 years younger than Julia Polastri, and it's not even the age. I don't want to even throw the age out there like that because look at Liz Carmouche, right? Liz Carmouche has hit her like second, third prime in her career, right? I mean, I've never seen Liz Carmouche look this good, even, at any point in her career, but, she's still here. But I know what you mean. Yeah, it is time to retire because she's faced so much damage throughout her career. That's why she needs to retire. Her age and fight years is probably older than a lot of these fighters because of all the punishment she's taken, throughout her career. I'm trying to think, which fight was that she suffered the metal plate? Was that the Alexa Grasso fight? Was that the Alexa Grasso fight? Because Alexa Grasso was pinging her up. She was dinging her up bad. I mean, just consistent, accurate punches one after the other, just taking combinations and slugs to the face like that. She was just getting beat up. That was like 6 years ago, too. I think that's the fight. It was either that or the Yan Xiaonan fight. That put the metal plate in her face. And, when you get a metal plate in your face, man, it's like things are never going to be the same. Things are never the same. Like your whole face is just more so tender to a lot of the shots coming because your face, of course, is not made to take punishment, but when you have a metal plate in your face, that's going to add more to the damage, right? I mean, look at Amanda Ebos like a few weeks ago. Amanda Ebos said she was about to suffer some seizures because, that metal plate was in the wrong place, but it got like readjusted in her face. So yeah, just little things like that, man. Like a lot of that stuff there is putting her on like a serious. For me, she's on that list to be, retired, or maybe the UFC has to enforce a cut or whatever, man, because this right here, this beating right here was, it was up there with like the Yan Xiaonan fight. Okay, yeah, Gary said it was the Yan Xiaonan fight. Yeah, I knew it was one of them fights. I mean, back to back Yan Xiaonan, first Grasso and then Yan Xiaonan. You facing two big, heavy strikers. I'm like, come on. And before that, you took one big one hitter quitter from Jessica Andrade, which that was a fight that knocked some screws loose, right? I mean, that was the beginning of the 5-fight losing streak she was on, right? She got knocked out by Andrade, Michelle Waterson, another kickboxer, Grasso, another boxer, Yan Xiaonan, a boxer. Then, Panay, finishes her in the first round. So she faced all kinds of like damage. I mean, physical, the mental, a lot of different types of losses right there. Now she's on another 3-fight losing streak. Yasmin Lucindo, Denise Gomes, Julia Polastri, all of these girls that hit hard too. Denise Gomes couldn't get her out of there, but still, man, like she hit Carolina with some big shots. But this was the one right here. I mean, Carolina's face after this fight, man. Wow, man. She was on her IG and she said she was good, but hey, she didn't look good, man. I mean, she probably think everything's okay, but man, like, did you see her face? Like that shin kick. I mean, that shin kick in the third round that ended the fight, that was the shot I think probably did some serious, like even more serious damage to where the plate is in her face. Because before that shot came, Polastri was like stuffing like that left jab in Carolina's face. I mean, heavy jab, like pushing Carolina's face in with that jab. I mean, y'all saw the picture I posted up, man. I'm just saying, like, them kind of pictures, I always be posting them up because I like to show people like the impact of these punches and these strikes when they connect. Like look at it in slow motion. Like, shout out to the photographers, the fight photographers, man. I mean, they are catching these shots on the money. When them shots are like just rearranging somebody's face, and where that shot landed, I think that's the side, right? That's the side where the middle plate was, because there's a few times you see Carolina kind of put her right hand up. She's starting to block her face there because she's in pain, and it's starting to affect her vision. That's where it was. So she's like trying to hide that part of her face now. So every time I saw her do that, I was like, I think it's just a matter of time before she either takes a knee or, she's gonna have to quit in the corner after a round. But I mean, Carolina, she'll make it through a fight. She'll make it through a fight, So when I see fighters like that, they don't know when to quit. Sometimes you gotta be the person to say, hey, I think it's time to hang it up. If you're working with that person, you've seen them take so much damage like this, if you're the person in their corner, whether it's the significant other, the husband, or, the trainer, somebody needs to have a talk with her. Somebody needs to have a talk with her. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of fighters out there that they believe that, hey, man, like, as long as I still feel like I can do this, I should be able to do this. But no, man, like feelings will get you killed. Feelings will get you killed. You know what I mean? Like feelings will get you killed. And you see a lot of people act off feelings all the time, right? And the fight game is somewhere you don't act off of feelings. In my opinion, like when you face this much damage and things just aren't going your way, you're gonna have to sit down and have a discussion with your team for real. Like, because me, honestly, I if she took this off, I couldn't be a part of the team anymore. Like I really couldn't, man, because as much then that's the thing. Like I love the fight game, but I don't like to see people go in there and just become punching bags either. Like she kind of held her own for some of the rounds, right? She landed some good shots in this fight as far as just combinations and just putting strikes on Polastri, and making Polastri kind of wear down. But I think Polastri was kind of wearing her own self down by throwing with so much intensity on every shot. But a lot of her shots didn't really have any effect on Polastri. I mean, Polastri walked through a lot of them punches. I mean, if Carolina had more of a game plan to just box and move and throw volume and move instead of straight back, maybe she could have like won a decision. But um, even then, that was risky because she couldn't even like withstand a couple of these big shots. Like she was getting knocked off balance and just out of her game plan with every single combination that came. So I just thought that overall, like this was a good example of Carolina just showing that it is time to hang it up. Gary said, yeah, I think she broke her right orbital. Yeah, okay. It was the right orbital bone. Because every time she would eat that left hand, I kept seeing her put that hand up. I know y'all saw that. Like she kept putting that hand up like she was in pain and like she was trying to block that part of her face. Like, uh-oh, like something was about to happen, like it was cracking again or something. So yeah, that to me was a big sign. When I saw that, I was like, oh, there it is. That plate or that bone is hurt. And then to cap it off, the shin to the face, like the shin on that side. Like Polastri is psycho, man. Like Polastri was trying to tear this girl's face up. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing, man. Like, it ain't that person's fault. Like, you got to know that the person standing opposite to you is coming with that killer instinct, no matter who it is. And some are just like off their rocker with it. So I factor in all of that, man. Like, as a person who say I'm a guy who wants to train a fighter, man, and I know that this person's seen better days, and then I know this person across from me was young, hungry, 12 years your senior, 12 years younger than you, and I've seen them go crazy in there and like a little Tasmanian devil. I'd be like, man, I don't think I can do it. I can't train you for this fight. I cannot do it. I can't do it. I just couldn't do it. Because seeing the beating that she took all the way to the end, I mean, I personally would have stopped it like after second round. I would have been like, you're done. You're done. I would have stopped it. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. I would have stopped it, man, because she was taking a bad beating. And then that shin to that side of the cheekbone to end the fight. I'm sure it does some damage. I'm sure it did more damage than the fighter will ever tell you. Because pride will talk big for you. Pride would talk big for you, especially for a fighter. Marcus said Carolina with the toenail in the back of Palostri's thigh. That's about as much damage as she done, right? I think that one toenail did more damage than any right hand on Palostri's face. I'm not being funny. I'm just saying, like, Polastri was on one, man. Like, Polastri was really moving, wading through these punches. What Polastri wasn't hurt. Like, Polastri was not hurt or phased by any of these combinations. She was walking this girl down, man. Like, she was just like walking her down. Like, okay, I got you to the corner. Boom, boom, boom. Hit you with this body shot. Oh, got hit with a couple of your shots. Nah, you ain't do nothing. I'm coming for you, So, yeah. I mean, good fight, though. Good finish. Me being strict, like, I wanted to see Polastri get her out in the first round. I thought there were some times where Polastri was being a little too stingy with the jab from the beginning. But when she started letting the jab go, man, that thing was tearing Carolina up. So overall, Palastri's, stand-up game was exciting. It was entertaining. I think just some things she just needs to tighten up on because, moving forward, you won't be able to walk every opponent down like this, right? So two things. If you want to continue to make Polastri entertaining, unfortunately, you're going to have to look at the matchups. I mean, what do you think, Marcus? Like, Gary, do y'all agree? I mean, she's an exciting fighter, but not every performance and matchup is going to be like this moving forward. Like with Andrade, Andrade, yeah, she's exciting, like no matter who it is. But There are gonna be fighters that take her down and just lay on her because they don't want to deal with that onslaught. So if you want the entertaining route, she's gonna have to be matched up correctly. But if she wants to get in that top 15, her her overall offense is going to have to be different. It's going to have to be a little bit, more educated. And maybe it was because she knew that Carolina couldn't hurt her, so she just went right through her. She went right through it for 3 rounds and wanted to do it that way. But I'm going off of the performances, her past fights too. Like when she fought a well-rounded fighter like Lupi, she came up short. There's another fighter that Josephine Newton, she lost to her too. And there was another fight she won that was kind of close. Oh man, I can't remember who it was right now, but yeah, just stuff like that. Two Beast, what's up? Two Beast says Shot Psycho is a G. I do worry about her being a little too comfortable in there. Exactly. Oh yeah, Two Beast. This must see video. I am working on it. I couldn't just do top 5. Top must see fighters. I had to do at least 10. I did a top 10, but I still have to, just record it. But I was thinking on top 5, but I was like, man, there's like at least 10 fighters I could suggest to people to watch in WMMA, because it's just not the UFC for me. Like there's at least 5 or 6 out of the UFC that are must see TV for me. And you already know Mac Judo is one of them. So yeah, I was going to do 5, but I said, no, let me go ahead and give y'all 10. I'm gonna give you 10. But yeah, I agree with that. Like, yeah, she's a G, but that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about her being a little too comfortable in the cage, but not just in the cage, but in that vicinity of that takedown range of some of these fighters. And I mean, we already seen it in the past, right? We've seen it in the past, because I'm looking at the fight with Lupi. She lost, right? And then the fight with Corey McKenna, it was close on scorecards, but Corey McKenna kind of got beat up in that fight. Corey McKenna did get kind of beat up in that fight. But when you fight somebody with like a good teep kick and takedowns, a good grappler, they'll just shove that teep kick in her belly all day, or they'll just take her down all day. So just little things like that I want to see Polastri improve on before I put her in there with like a ranked opponent, because I think, again, exciting style, yes, but veterans will still give her issues. Like Angela Hill might have a style that could. Then again, Angela Hill's kind of aging out. Like Angela Hill might be a fight she could win, but I wouldn't put my money on that one. I really wouldn't. Like maybe her and Demopoulos, that would be a good fight. Let's see Polastri and Demopoulos, because Demopoulos likes to trade too. That would be an exciting fight. What do y'all think about that? Mike Lee, explain to me what a G is, please. Oh, he means gangster. He just means gangster. She's a G. Like a gangster. A tough fighter. She's somebody that goes basically like a dog. When we say a dog, she's a dog. She has that dog in her. She's got that G in her. To go in there and just put it all on the line and try to run through an opponent. Be dominant, right? Yeah, who do y'all want to see Polastri fight next? I want to see Carolina retire. But Julia Polastri, I want to see her fight not a top ranked fighter, not a top 15 fighter or anything like that. Chanel Dyer, that's a good fight. Yeah, Chanel Dyer, she lost her Contender Series fight. If she want to prove that she's in there, this is a good fight. Chanel Dyer. But I want to see her fight a grappler like Demopoulos. I want to see that. Either of those fights are good. Mark said at this point, UFC is doing Angela Hill like Pianta. Oh, yeah. Until her day is done, or until her contract is done, that's how she's kind of going to go out. That Fatima Klein fight, it ain't going to be no joke either. Like, I can't. Let me not even bring Angela Hill up right now, because, the Fatima Klein fight, that's going to be nuts. But yeah, that's a good one. Chanel Dyer. style matchup wise, yeah, Chanel Dyer or the girl that won the fight, right? Carol Farrow. Carol Farrow, man, because Carol Farrow is a little Andrade too. So any of them fights are good. To be said, the thing about Pelostri is I think she's got good skills even when it comes to takedowns and getting up. She just needs to use a little more urgency in getting up and preventing the takedown. Yeah. Yeah, because she's physically strong. Like she is strong. I've seen some of her past fights, but sometimes I think she gets into that, like you said, G mode, and she just wants to go all out. Coolio said Pelostri needs to learn to be more defensive. Yeah. Yeah. She's gonna be forced to in these next few fights if they match her up right. Like even if she fights Carol Farrow or Chanel Dyer, she's gonna have to be defensive because Carolina's power and strikes doesn't even carry as much power as theirs. Like Chanel Dyer, head kicks coming, head kick coming back at you. Carol Farrow, I mean, the left hook to the body, the right hand's upstairs. She's flat-footed too, and she comes right in there. Like you got to be defensive minded. Like, and I'm sure she probably knows that. She probably just knew that Carolina wasn't gonna be sitting on punches and throwing volume, so she's like, I'm gonna just walk through this girl because I knew she took a couple of body shots from Carolina. She kind of like showboated like she could take them. She kind of hit the abs and like, you ain't hurt me. Tubi said give her Bannon. Oh, you trying to get Shauna Bannon cut, man? No, actually give Shauna Bannon to Chanel Dyer because Chanel Dyer actually lost to Shauna Bannon in the amateurs. So if she's coming in with a loss, let her get that back against Shauna Bannon. Ain't that crazy? Shauna Bannon stopped Chanel Dyer in the amateurs and went the distance with Dakota. That's crazy. Bannon, man. Bannon versus Pelostri. But Pelostri gonna kill that girl, I think, man. Shoot, she gonna go in there and tear her up. Unless she get it to the ground. Gary said sacrifice Bannon, so I don't have to see it anymore. If Pelostri destroy her, she's out of there. Yes. Oh man, that would be crazy, man. That would be crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of good matchups. I think there is a lot of good matchups for Julia Pelostri as far as just like must-see TV. So you can tune in and just to put WMMA on the map as far as entertaining. And even like a couple of fights, I would bump her up to like headliner prelim. Well, let her work a little bit, let her work towards that. And she could headline list like the preliminaries. She continues to like craft her style to fit and adjust, in these lower ranks. To be said, she evaded a lot of the shots back in. If you look in slow motion, she evaded a lot of the shots that looked like they landed. Yeah, I might have to watch the fight again because it was a good fight. But yeah, I know for a fact these shots did land for Pelostri. Like we knew whenever Pelostri landed. Bannon's stoppage against Dyer was weak. Yeah, I have to go back and look at that stoppage. Like it must have been like a bad call because I couldn't even believe it. Like I remember looking at it on IG because I think somebody posted it, but I remember Shauna Bannon, not Shauna Bannon, but Chanel Dyer, just saying like, oh, that fight didn't go her way, and I was like, you got stopped. So I had to go back and look at it, but I could picture it being weak. Puja Tomar. How about Puja Tomar for Pelostri? Yeah. All right. So another fight that ended in a stoppage. I went with Polastri and I went with Bia Mesquita in this one. Y'all saw my video kind of breaking down these new bantamweights and these new bantamweights that they're bringing in and how I think they're going to be a force. The only one I couldn't pick, and y'all know I didn't pick her, man. Like I keep putting her on blast like that because I was talking about 4 new bantamweights that got signed. Alice Pieta, right? Alice Pieta was the only one I didn't pick so far. And you saw why. I picked Rendon in that fight. She lost. I picked Michelle Montague. I got a little shaky, man, because Luana Carolina buckled her, but for the most part, she won the fight. For the most part, she won the fight. But Bia Mesquita was set up with a fighter in here. I think I knew she was going to win this fight. Like Alex Silva, the most she has is that judo that she doesn't really utilize, and some power that she doesn't really set up. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I really can't call some of these power punches knockout artists because they don't set it up. You ain't a knockout artist just because you got power. Like, to be a knockout artist, you have to set it up. You got to set it up. Like, seen a lot of people land power shots because they got heavy hands, but they let the knockout drift away. They let the knockout drift away. So in no ways Alex Lee, she's just a slugger. She's just a sloppy slugger in there. And going into this fight, I already saw her as food. I saw her as food for Bia. That's why I was like, between Rendon, Alex Silva, Luana Carolina, they kind of see these girls as food. But out of all of them, man, Rendon showed the most. I mean, she was like, hey, you ain't taking me out. Or maybe it was just the opponent she fought. Probably just the opponent she fought. Because Luana Carolina, I mean, Luana Carolina had some success in that fight. All right. Luana Carolina did buckle my girl Michelle Montague, but Alex Silva offered nothing. Alex Silva, she offered nothing in here. You see how big Bia Mesquita looked too, man? Like, Bia is big. Like, Bia is a big bantamweight, man. Like, I've been watching her LFA fights, but she was flexing in this one. I mean, like, I've never really I've seen all her fights in LFA, but I've never really just noticed like how muscular she was. Maybe she had developed more muscle, like, since getting into the UFC. Like, maybe that just shows you how hard she was training. Maybe she just shows you how hard she was really training, for her UFC debut, because she came in looking big, man. Like, muscular. So I could tell she really been working on like maybe strength training throughout this camp, because she made Alex Silva look like a flyweight or something. Like, Alex Silva's longer, but she just looked thinner than Bia. I mean, Bia came in, took her time. Still didn't really see too much of her striking, but she just took her time and found that opening, to get the fight where she knows favors her. And, that is what I wanted to see her do. Like, these fighters coming in to make a statement, you got to go in there and showcase like what it is what's the reason the UFC signed you. She calls herself the BJJ GOAT, which, I mean, she's finished a lot of girls. Miesha Tate, Jennifer Maia, and BJJ. But coming into the UFC, people want to still see that. Like, okay, how does this girl do? Like, can she stop some girls here? And I mean, she did it. I mean, that first round was brutal, man. Like, a lot of people want to see a lot of people want to see Alex Silva get cut, and they want to see Bia Mesquita get her out of there. And it was like Bia Mesquita heard the fans. They was like, get her out. And Bia was on top of it the majority of the first round, just busting her up, man. Like, that first round, she was unrecognizable at the end of the round. I mean, she was covered in blood. I mean, just demoralized. I mean, she looked horrible. 12-6 elbows just dropping on her. And Bia was just riding her at times. Like, there was times when Bia was just catching her breath, man, and then come right back at her. Like, Russian Ronda here, she could not get out of it. She could not get up. Like, that's how heavy and strong she was. So she really did like put on. Yeah, Gary said she did put on more muscle. Like, I can tell she put on more muscle, because it was evident, but it was also evident by the fact that Alex Silva could not get up. Marcus said Alex Silva was cringe to watch. I mean, she was cringe to watch from the weigh-in, the stare down, all the way up to the fight, man. Like all that bouncing and waste of energy, to the cage. And then when she got in there, man, it was like, what's going on? you know? Bluebird, what's up? Bluebird said Mesquita is a beast on the ground, but I'm interested to see how she does against much better competition. Oh, most definitely. Like this was just an introduction, but yeah, like as a critic here, like I definitely got to see more from her. And I've I've seen her get rocked in the past, but I'm sure striking is something that they know they need to work on. Much like Michelle Montague, like you ain't gonna get every girl to the ground in the UFC, like especially in the bantamweight division. Like she moving forward is gonna, be tested on the feet, and there are gonna be girls that stuff her takedowns, put the jab in her face a little bit more. So yeah, those are things that I definitely want to see. But this was something I wanted to see her go ahead and do. Go in there and show us a good submission game, but not even like a submission game, but a good ground and pound game. Like I was impressed with the ground and pound, man. Like most grapplers you see just come in there and lay on you, and she didn't come in there. She came in there part Kayla Harrison. She was riding this girl, dropping bombs, beating this girl up. Then she takes her down in the second round. I mean, a massive takedown and just dropped this girl on. I mean, the first takedown, she dropped the girl on her back hard in the first round. Then in the second round, same deal, gets her down. And Alex Siva was trying to scramble to avoid getting the full mount, but she gave her back up. And that's where Bia was like, you ain't going anywhere. She had both grounds covered, and boom, there it is. Like, terrible. Now, this is a rear naked choke. The commentators were saying that Yana Santos was about to get choked out by Macy Chiasson last weekend, but that thing was nowhere near locked in. This is a choke. Look, no type of hand fight, no type of defense was in play. Them hands was far away. This was a choke. That's why that girl was like, I'm done. Tap. Right? So, yeah. Good opener for, just good opener, to see this girl come in and, go ahead and let you see like how strong she is on the ground, how much of a threat on the ground. But yeah, definitely, I want to see more on the feet. Like I want to see against better competition. 2B said, scale of 1 to 10, 10 the highest potential, 1 the lowest, based on her debut performance. Let's see. For Bia, I would say the highest potential based off of this performance. I'll give her like a 6.5 or a 7, because I'm thinking about the opponent too. I'm just knocking some points off because I was looking at the form of her right hand, and I didn't really like the right hand that she was throwing from Bia. I know I'm being harsh. I didn't really like the right hand that she was throwing when she tried. And then the opponent that she was fighting to. So just a couple points. So I would say like a 6.5 or a 7. That's like the highest potential, I would say. Because, there's still a lot to be seen. And I know what Alex Leva lacks too. So, but for the way she got her out of there and the way she attacked on the ground and the way she landed a lot of damaging blows, that pushes that performance higher too, because I know moving forward, she's not going to just be a lay and pray type of grappler. So yeah, I'll give her like a 6.5, 6.8, 7, like that. Almost a 7, yeah. Gary said Bia didn't go for the submission that much in the first round. No, she didn't. I think she was having fun in there. I think she was I think that she was just really trying to beat this girl up. Like, yeah, she didn't go for it. I think she tried for the armbar. I think she did try for the armbar, right? Like after she beat her towards like the end of the round, she might have tried to transition for an armbar towards the end of the round. But yeah, for the most part, she didn't really like go hard for it. Like she was really working on ground and pound here and just like, top control and beating this girl up. So yeah, I would say to me that added a little bit more to her performance though. To be said, yeah, I actually noticed she winged her straight right twice. Yeah, it was kind of like loaded up, like she was throwing a soda can or something. I don't know. Like I just didn't like the way it was thrown. Like she threw it a couple of times, but thankfully she didn't have to worry about anything coming back at her. But as long as they know that was something that needs to be fixed, it can be worked on. So I'm not taking away from the finish. I just know moving forward, like competition wise, her hands are going to have to come into play more to get some of these fighters to the ground. But yeah, I enjoyed the fights though. I enjoyed her performance. If you can keep putting it together like that, hey, it's all good. And same thing with Polastri. If they can keep feeding her some good fighters, I'm actually holding Bia Mesquita a little bit higher. I'm actually holding her a little bit to a higher standard than Polastri, just because this is her debut, and I know they see her as like a fighter that has potential to get to the top more. Like I've already seen a little bit of Polastri. I think Polastri can get in the top 15, but I already can kind of measure where I think she's at. But with Bia, there's a few things that I need to see from her as far as competition wise and what she can do moving forward. Like when she gets drawn out into the later rounds, kind of like Jacqueline Amram. She's kind of like the Jacqueline Amram in the bantamweight division. Great jujitsu. Now they got to just transfer to MMA. A lot of finishes. I mean, Jacqueline Amram, she finished just about everybody she's fought, So yeah, everybody. Same thing with Bia. So, but as the competition gets tougher, they gotta get it together. Yeah, hopefully Croden performs. Like Croden's my next one here. Melissa Croden is fighting this Saturday coming up, and she's another one. They're putting her in there with Tainara Lisboa. I think Tainara Lisboa is a bigger threat than Irina Sleva or Rendon or Luana Carolina, honestly, because granted, Lisboa did have some injuries. I thought she had more like of a well-rounded skill set. So I think she might be a little bit more danger. Yeah, Polastri had the better opponent, definitely. Like Polastri definitely had the better opponent all around. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, WMMA, yeah, we got two finishes, two finishes. And it all comes down to just this matchmaking too. Like, what do y'all think, man? Bia Mesquita's next opponent. Who do y'all want to see her fight next? Who do we got? Who do we got down here? Melissa Dixon or Melissa Mullins? Let me see. Melissa Mullins. Who else? Let me look at there's a few unranked fighters here, right? Melissa Mullins, Josiane Nunes is still around. Chelsea Chandler's here. I think eventually, like a Jocelyn Edwards would be a test for her. Yeah, Nora Cornell. Yeah, we got Nora Cornell. She's ranked number 12. Then there's Haley Cowan. I haven't really even seen much of Haley Cowan in a while. Like, I think her last fight was that fight she lost to Nora Cornell, right? That was actually that was this year. Yeah, she's fought like 6 months ago because she had been on like a long layoff. But unfortunately, yeah, since she got signed, she's only 0-2. A lot of injuries for Haley Cowan. Hopefully, she can get back in the mix. He has Zelesnikova. There's Zelesnikova. That's a fight. That's a striker. That's a striker, a long striker. Gary says Zombie Girl, and then someone ranked because she's 34. Yeah, yeah. With her being older, I kind of want to see her get into the rankings a little bit faster. Yeah, Zombie Girl. Yeah, let's see her face a puncher or somebody, like stand up fighter. Actually, yeah, Michelle Montague needs to fight somebody too like that. Michelle Montague either fight Zombie Girl or Daria. Give both of them one of those opponents, right? Mark said Bia versus Zombie Girl would be another layover for Bia. Yeah, yeah, she probably would get her out of there quick. Yeah, I think I'd want to see Zeleznikova and Bia fight, and then I like to see Michelle Montague and Zombie Girl fight. I actually like that matchup better. To be said, I worry about the Priscilla fight. Yeah, I actually worry about that fight for both of them because Michelle Montague got hit with some clean shots. So I want to see her fight that kind of fighter, to force her to work on her defense. Yeah, I would actually worry about that for both of them. Priscilla Cachoeira. And let me see. Yeah, I think I'd like to see Cachoeira and Montague. That would be a good one. And then Zeleznikova, she's long and rangy. And that would probably force Bia to have to get inside that reach early and see if she can get her down. Actually, I think Zeleznikova was submitted, right? She got submitted by Eileen Perez, I think. I think she did, right? Yeah, triangle choke. She bounced back with a win over Melissa Mullins. Oof, that fight was crazy. I remember that one. Yeah, Melissa Mullins. Yeah. So yeah, man, overall I thought both fights were good to me. This is what we need. Got some more candidates for finishes of the year here. I mean, across the board for just WMMA period. I've been seeing some satisfactory performances. Even like if that Polastri fight didn't end in the decision, I think it would have still been like a quality performance. But that finish kind of capped it off, man. That finish is what really made it wow, That finish was needed. I will say that. Yeah. Yeah, Daria is less dangerous between the two as I look at her resume. Marcus said, I wouldn't be surprised if Priscilla goes back to flyweight due to that bantamweight power. That's what's crazy. Like, she thought her power was going to be dominant, but then, boom, Jocelyn Edwards. Yeah, because she knocked Jocelyn Nunez out, but Jocelyn Edwards took her out. That's definitely going down close to a candidate for knockout of 2025 for women. If not the one, yeah. But yeah, I'm about to jump off here, y'all. I just wanted to do a quick little live here and talk about last night's fights because yeah, they were good. The overall card wasn't bad. It was pretty solid. I was in and out on some of the other fights, but I had to catch these. But having both of these fights end in the finish just made it even more satisfactory for me. And you got two fighters that come out of here well worth watching, and you definitely want to tune into them. Like, definitely want to tune in to Psycho's next fight. And I'm definitely going to tune in to Bia's next fight. But yeah, next weekend, or this weekend coming up, we got Melissa Croton. Hopefully she can keep it going because, it's important, man. These bantamweights now, it's in the mid rank and the upper part of the rank, and everybody's starting to get older now. So, they need these newer fighters. I mean, Bia, she's not the youngest either. So, hopefully she can make a few more statements and get ranked too. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. Fatima Klein. Yeah. Fatima Klein's knockout over Martinez. That was definitely quality. That was quality there. Yeah, and crispy too. But I love that. Dang, who else had a good knockout? Um, yeah, the Edwards knockout was good. Um, oh man, there was one in LFA that I saw. Oh, the Laney Silva knockout to win that belt. Laney Silva's knockout. That was a good knockout in LFA. That was earlier this year. It was a head kick knockout. It came out of nowhere in the 5th round. That was a good one. But yeah, that Fatima Klein, oof, that was vicious too, man. Like Klein was, the grappler, but she comes in and gets the big win off via knockout off of the boxer. Yeah, Psycho Crispy, they're the most interesting two fighters. Yeah, yeah, Crispy's got a style I just appreciate, man. Like I'm about ready to see Crispy and Wayne Kong throw down, man. Like Wayne Kong's another one. Like Wayne Kong's a good one, so I'm ready to see that matchup happen at some point. Wayne Kong, yeah, I would say she's probably entertaining. Yeah, she's got to be entertaining. All 4 of her fights were entertaining. Even a fight where she got choked out. But on that note, y'all, shout out to everybody in the chat. I am about to get up off of here now. I just wanted to, talk about these 2 fights. And yeah, I'll be live Tuesday at 7:30. BJ will be here for the mashup show. Oh yeah, Oliveira fight was awesome, dude. Yeah, Oliveira, yeah. Yep. Fatima and Angela Hill are going to throw down next month. Oh boy, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. Actually, this past weekend, this weekend coming, and the weekend after that are all gonna be some crazy fights. We got the Melissa Croden and Tanir Lisboa. Then you got Manon and Jasmine. Then the weekend after that, you got Jandaroba and Dern for the belt. So that's looking like a good, solid lineup for the next few weekends here. Oh yeah, Jacqueline Amaram and Mizuki Inoue are on that card too. They're on the Dern Jandaroba card. They're the opening fight too. So let's see if Jacqueline Amaram can keep the finishes going. Yeah, she's the first fight on the card in 2 weeks. So let's see how she does. Alan Carr is coming back November 1st too. Okay. Who? Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, she's fighting Carnelossi. Where has Carnelossi been though? Well, I guess this is a return. That's Carlos Esparza Jr. and Tisha Torres Jr. Because this girl is jacked too, like Tisha kind of. I mean, she's bigger than Tisha when it comes to muscle, but she's just one of those muscular girls too. So it's like a Carla Tisha type of fight. Man, she hadn't fought in over a year either, man. See, I keep forgetting about some of these back burner fighters. They just been out the game. Like, only see them like once a year. Hopefully, Alan Carr can make a statement. I mean, she looked good in her last fight against Demopoulos, so we'll see. All right, y'all. I'm getting off now. Later. See y'all Tuesday. Peace.